Talking about how good is it, I'm going to talk about the one that you've been waiting for. It's Swimsuit Kuroe. So, Swimsuit Kuroe, I know it's going to be very different from the video that I just made on the rumored Tsuruno anime version, because that one was not very well thought out. So let's contrast that to a unit that is very well thought out. So first off, we're going to start with her being an attacker that actually can make use of attacking in her blast discs. But there's also going to be something else with that. You know how in Rumored Tsuruno, if you watched this before that, I talked about being attacker means that your MP generation for using your own Excel disc for attacking is going to be less than if you were a different type like Magi or support, for example. But she generates MP different ways, so it's actually okay that she's attacked because she doesn't require you to generate MP that way. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Except her stats are almost identical to Rumored Tsuruno for some reason. The important part is though that she has a good amount of attack, and that's kind of what she needs, like have a lot of attack. And we're gonna take a quick look at her personal. We're going to see that it does blast damage up, we see that it gives magic damage up, and between her having 3 blast discs, 2 Excel discs, we can already tell that, yeah, she's definitely going to be a hybrid between blasting and using Excel discs. How well she's able to do that, well, we're going to see in a second. But first off, this is an active for 3 turns, and the fact that it's an active for 3 turns is also going to come into play in just a bit. Because like I said, this is actually a well thought out character, so everything that we've seen so far we will actually need to keep in mind, because it's all going to come back together once we look at more stuff for the kid. The stuff that doesn't actually work that well together with the rest is the connect. It just gives damage up and some random dark attribute attack up, which, okay, I guess on a dark type team is fine, but this is the only bonus that she gives to other people. Everything else in this entire kit, including all of her Magi and double buffs, are just for herself. This is the only thing she gives to other people, and it's dark attack up, which is that's a kind of weird buff to give as like the only buff you're giving to other people. Maybe some either blast up or excel up would have made more sense on a character like this, so maybe the connect might not be the best part of her. But okay, it's not terrible, but it could have been a lot better. However, the important part is the doppel. Now, she will actually be able to get a doppel rather quickly, and we'll see why in a bit. But the important part is that doppel is actually something you need to consider as something that you're going to get to very fast, or at least Magia. Now, what it does is it does average strength and damage, 5 for enemies. The average strength and damage in this case actually will make sense, because we will see in a second that she can use doppel very often. And also that whenever she uses doppel, she will be able to do more damage. 2 things that both were not true for Rumored Tsuruno, who couldn't get to doppel fast or even use multiple, and who also didn't do anything for herself, like offensively, when she used multiple doppels. So, what does she do? She gives attack up to herself. Now, attack up is a good buff, it's a great buff to have, but keep in mind that it's very easy to accidentally overcap on attack up if you have a team where multiple people are buffing attack up, and a lot of characters buff attack up, so it's very easy to accidentally have too much attack up. But that's okay, because on top of that, you also get dark attack up for 25% for 5 turns. Really good thing to have, something you can just keep stacking up and up and up, and yeah, will always be good because you're not gonna cap on this in any way, so you're gonna be fine. It also gives regenerated MP, and look at that, we have something that actually helps you keep pumping out more doppels because you regenerate your own MP. Nice. On top of that, it gives you blast MP up for 3 turns, and it's 5 MP. Keep the number in mind, 5 MP. And we're gonna immediately, before I keep talking about that, we're gonna immediately move on to the SE, where we have a bunch of standard bonuses, which, okay, is fine. Anti-evade because she's attacker, like, sure, anti-stun, doesn't really matter, but then it gives another 5 MP blast blast MP gain up, which is 10. That's a pretty good number, that's quite a lot actually. And then on top of that, you start the battle with 10% of your MP gauge full, which with Magi level 5 is 15 MP that you're gonna start the battle with. So already you're starting at 15 MP. And then on top of that, which is the thing that everyone already knows probably if you're watching this, she just starts the battle on turn 1 with gaining another 70 MP. Now this 70 MP she gets at the end of the turn, and because it's an MP that you get through a regenerate effect, this MP actually gets increased by MP gain up. We're gonna see a source of MP gain up in just a second because this unit is well thought out. So yeah, basic MP up, not Excel MP up, but just MP up will indeed increase this. So this is kind of the main stat that you actually want to increase on her, so you get the most amount of MP on her that you can get. And just with that, even if you have 0% MP up, you're already sitting at 85 MP after turn 1 if you get 0 discs. Throw on top of that maybe you get some discs, maybe you have some MP up, and you're starting to look at a really fast doppel. And this is why I said you should look at doppels as something that you're going to get very quickly, because both of these passes right here make it very easy. Now you have blast MP because you're going to blasting a lot, and you have 2 Excel discs, so yeah, you can actually make use of all of these different tools combined to push yourselves higher and higher and actually get there really fast. Because either you draw the Excel discs, and there you go, you have the Excel discs, you're going to be looking really nice, or you have the blast discs, but then you're going to regenerate MP with blast MP, which sadly does not get increased by MP up, but still you're going to get more MP through that. So no matter which discs you draw, as long as you draw discs, you're gaining a bunch of MP. That's a really nice thing, right? Isn't that? Just have, no matter what happens, you always have a positive outcome. That's pretty good. And if you do draw the Excel discs, you actually get Excel MP gain up through here, so bonuses, nice. Now her active is, it's blast draw, which is okay, it's a nice thing to have, not really something that I think was required or something that's going to be amazing, but it's something that's really nice to just have. There are situations where sometimes you want to play her in a charge your strategy, where maybe you want to, specifically after charging a bit, you want to draw into your blast discs. That can be something you want to do. Historically, this is something that Final Tart has done a lot because she has a blast draw personal, but you can do it with this now. But this is only something that I think is really important on charger strategies, where you have a lot of charged discs in the pool that you want to draw into, so you might not actually be guaranteed drawing blasts when you need to draw the blasts. But outside of that, I guess it's okay. I mean, when you actually really want blasts, it's usually when you're farming. And when you're farming with auto battle. And when you're farming on auto battle, you don't care about your actives. So maybe you can use this in mirrors if you really need to kill someone and you require that little bit of blast, or you're in mirrors and you want to get her connect out but she has no discs, then maybe with blast draw you can draw into her discs for a connect. But those are all just fringe situations where it might be useful, but the point is it has a use. You can use this in many different situations as something that's not just, oh, I guess it's nice to have, but something that could actually have an important impact on the game. Now with all of this combined, now we know every single piece of her kit, we can see the following strategy. You give yourself a bunch of MP gain up, you try and get your Excel discs or your blast discs, whatever you want, on turn 1 to immediately jumpstart yourself into a Magia, or better, and definitely this is what you want, a doppel. You push yourself in doppel. You can even use the normal Kuroe, whose personal gives MP to everyone. So normal Kuroe can just immediately snap her fingers and give MP to Swimsuit Kuroe in case you have her, to immediately jumpstart that as well. So that is a really nice thing, especially because the personal of Kuroe gives MP regen, which is, or restore rather, which is also increased by getting MP gain up. So you really want to have that MP gain up. And then you can immediately jumpstart into a doppel, which is going to do good damage on against light enemies, which makes it great for Kimochi. She's maybe not the best Kimochi, like there's still better DPS out there, I think, mostly because this is 5-frame enemies, and I think usually just having AoE attribute strengthened is usually better. But that said, it's still pretty darn strong if you don't have a better DPS for your light type Kimochi whenever that comes around again. Opal, I think it is. This is a nice thing to have. And on top of that, you immediately buff yourself with 2 different types of attack up. One that is not going to cap, so that's really nice. And on top of that, you also then spring start your way to your next doppel with more blast MP and with more regenerate MP. Great. And guess what? With the 5 blast MP and with the 5 blast MP from up here, you have 10 blast MP. Let's say you're only drawing blast discs, okay? Which you could even draw into it with your blast draw, okay? That actually comes into play now. So you use your doppel, use 2 blast discs. Against an enemy like a really big boss, you're probably hitting 3 tiles on every single blast, probably. At least Opal, actually I don't remember the tiles for Opal, but you're probably gonna hit at least 2 tiles on everyone, maybe even 3. And if you're hitting 3 tiles with 10 blast MP, that's 30 MP per blast. So you're already sitting at 60 MP after your 2 blasts. So double blast already gives you 60 MP together with the 16 from here. So already sitting at 76 MP. Okay, and then next turn you're getting another 16 MP. So you're already sitting at almost 100 MP. And then you have 3 more blasters you can do, with each of them giving you at most 30 MP. And even if you're hitting only 2 enemy targets, you can kind of tell that you're getting a lot of MP. If you do double blast and you only hit 2 targets, that's still 40 MP from those, and then 3 blast discs again from her, which, like I said, you can draw into with blast draw. That's another 20, 40, 60 MP. On top of that is 100 MP with the 32 you get from regenerate MP. If anything else happens, let's say for example you get hit by an enemy, you get bonus MP. Maybe someone else connects to you and gives you more MP. Maybe you have MP up, which at least still increases the MP you gain from this regenerate MP effect, as well as the MP you get from taking hits. So MP up will also help you with that. Maybe in the middle of that you get some Excel discs, and together with your Excel adapter right here, you get more Excel bonuses to give you even more MP. So you can kind of tell that you can actually get to another double really fast. And when you get to another double, more buffs that stack to each other, more regenerate MP, and you can jumpstart yourself to another double. So even though she's a Blastios character, she has so many cool and nice tools to push herself from double to double, and that's a really nice thing to have. While at the same time, whenever she doubles, she also just generally increases all of her damage because she gives herself Dark Attribute attack up, which also makes her blast stronger. So she's buffing her, like, this is the cool part about her. She's buffing her blast, or just her general damage, with her double. But then, when she's blasting, she gets her double again. And when she uses her double, she makes her blast stronger and allows her blast to push herself to double again. You can see this kind of cycle of back and forth between blasting and doubling actually working out really, really well, because this is a well-designed character where all the different parts of her kit actually intertwine, feed off of each other, and actually create a character that is more than just the sum of their abilities and their passives. Like, everything actually works really well with each other. You don't have enough blasters, you can blast right into that. Oh, nice. And so this is a really good thing to have on Kimochi, a really good thing to have on 100 Evils. Makes 100 Evils really nice if you have guaranteed ways of getting to double really fast. But also is of course going to be really nice in mirrors, because of course in mirrors you get bonus points the more Magia you use, and also bonus points for the more doubles you use. So being able to jumpstart yourself into a double really fast on turn 2 even, makes it also really nice for scoring in ranked. If you're gonna outclass maybe some other characters who are currently being replayed in ranked, I don't know, maybe you're gonna see her in some tournaments though, probably. But overall, if you're missing some of the absolute best characters in Mirror, which I think is still Tanayachi, Sudachi, and someone else, then you can probably pick up her, and she's going to be doing a really, really nice, she's a really low investment way of getting a really quick and almost guaranteed Magia for really nice scoring. So that's going to help you get your S rank, right? Really nice. So she's someone who's really good in in most playstyles. All of her kit just works together with each other really nicely. And on top of that, you have her Hosagacha Memoria, which actually helps her out really nicely in mirrors, because in mirrors it's kind of is sad if you get attacked too early, but you can't really give defense. You can't really give too much defense to a character because that might mess up the enemy AI. But you can make characters more tanky without screwing over enemy AI by using damage card, because damage card does not play into enemy AI. Therefore, this Memoria is also really good for mirrors, because damage card is really nice for manipulating enemy AI. But at the same time, even if you're not using that, just the MP gain up. I just said how important MP gain up is for Swimsuit Kuroe, so this is a nice thing to have. So on one hand, you can use this for just general AI manipulation, while at the same time giving MP gain up really nicely. It's also placed really nicely on a weak MP character. I think Sudachi, it's not specifically weak MP, but also Sudachi, for example, or just anyone who likes to get hit to generate MP through weak MP. Like, weak MP is the effect where you get bonus MP if you get hit by the strong element. So characters who have that, they want to get hit, so damage cut doesn't mess up enemy AI, makes sure they get hit because they have lower defense, and enemies are effective against them, of course. And on top of that, they gain bonus MP for getting hit from the MP gain up. Really nice thing to use for that as well. So overall, both the Memoria and Kuroe as well really played really nicely really well off of each other. But it doesn't even end there. There's still another piece of the puzzle that just plays really well into everything else. It's the personal that I've mentioned at the beginning of this. So the blast damage up for 3 turns, that's nice. She's a blaster, she likes some blast damage up, that's really nice. But then on top of that, you have magic damage up for 3 turns. I said 3 turns was important. You know why? On the first turn, you use this when you use your double. So you use your double immediately on that turn, and then with all of the stuff that I've just said before, 2 turns after that, you're gonna get your double again. So you can use double, then get this damage bonus on the Magia, apply to your double, and then you're gonna blast for a turn, which gives you the blast damage bonus onto your blasts, and then the turn after that, this buff is still active, so you can use the Magia damage again to buff your double. Isn't that nice? You get to make use of both of these buffs, one turn after another after another. Oh my god, everything just works so well to each other. So like I said, she might not be the absolute top tier end all be all in either ranked or Kimochi, but she's really fucking good in both of those. And I think overall she's just a fun unit because everything just works out so well with her. You can also really use her well for farming. Like sometimes when you farm harder stages where you might not actually survive with a regular blaster because the enemy just has way too much HP, you fight a big boss for example, this actually helps with that because you get to fast double, you get to fast Magia even. Like you do auto battle, you have your use Magia on boss nodes settings in the auto settings active. She's almost guaranteed to get to Magia after like 1 or 2 turns, even on auto battle, and then you can just Magia the boss and be done immediately. So it's also really nice for farming. So yeah, what is there that she can't do? What is there that she can't do? She's just overall a really fun character, and she's very cute at that. So overall, just a really nice package. Overall, just a complete, solid package. That was the help, guys. Right here, subscribe button, ring the bell. See you guys next time.